This segment is sponsored by Edward Jones. Last year, Edward Jones teamed up with Cerulli Associates to take the pulse of North America to learn what's changing and what it means for our financial future. And joining us now to share these insights is Ben Maxwell, a financial advisor with Edward Jones. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having us.
Of course. All right. Well, Edward Jones, it's like a household name at this point. So many of us know about it. But I was wondering if you could just give us a little bit of the scope and the amount of people and investors that you currently serve.
Sure, yeah, I'd be happy to do that. So Edward Jones has a couple big milestones. We now have over 20,000 advisors serving clients in every single county in the United States, and clients entrust us with over $2.5 trillion worth of their assets.
Wow, okay, so you're reaching a lot of people, serving a lot of people. That's fantastic. That's right. Now, we talked about the pulse of North America. Tell us more about that, and how is Edward Jones using this research?
Yep, so considering we do have clients in every single county, gives us a unique point of view to conduct this study. And what we did is we surveyed tens of thousands of investors across the United States and Canada, and investors gave us some really clear insight about financial topics that they're curious about. They might have questions or concerns, and investors did a really good job of defining what financial fulfillment means as well.
Yeah, tell us more about that. How are they defining financial fulfillment?
Yeah, I'm glad you caught that. I'm sure investors are going to ask the same question. What does financial fulfillment mean? And investors define that as the ability to live without financial stress, which is a lot easier said than done, obviously. But what we found in the surveys were investors are willing to sacrifice a number of things to accomplish financial fulfillment. And they were willing to change their spending habits. They were able to look at eliminating debt and give themselves more financial flexibility. And they really wanted to pursue more financial education to have a better understanding of the decisions that they were making. And so that's where Edward Jones Advisors come in. We now speak the same language as investors. We are intimately familiar with their goals and their expectations, and we have the tools and the skill set to customize plans that are tailored to each individual investor to help them achieve what their version of financial fulfillment means.
Yeah, education is so important. I mean, we all can get tips and bits and think we know, but unless you're talking to professionals, there's things we're missing. So I know how important education is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. What about the people and the investors right here in the DMV? What have they been focusing on?
Yeah, so Pulse of North America did a really good job of capturing what was top of mind to the investors in this area. And it shouldn't come as a surprise. Job uncertainty and inflation were the two big topics. And you consider what happened in the past year. You have fork in the road, which impacted federal employees pretty significantly, as well as the private sector here in this area. And inflation is something that's top of mind to investors as well. But the research also reinforces this is where advisors at Edward Jones come and bring more value to the client relationship, is during times of uncertainty, because what we found in the research is that there are emotions attached to most of the financial decisions that we make.
Sure.
But when you work with an advisor, you are 74% more likely to have confidence and more optimism in your financial decisions versus only 57% of investors feel that way when they make these decisions on their own without the help and guidance of a financial advisor.
Yeah, and it's probably not just the feeling of confidence, but it's the actual reality that you will set yourself up for success down the road.
100%.
Right? Yeah.
Yep, that clarity.
All right. For anyone watching right now, I mean, this is such great information. What is, one takeaway that you would like for viewers to take away from this conversation?
Yeah, I think it's the comment about emotions being tied to financial decisions. Most of them have emotions associated with them. And there are 275 Edward Jones financial advisors here in the DC area and surrounding suburbs who are intimately aware of what their communities have on top of their minds, what their concerns are there. And we have, again, the skills and the tools to really customize strategies for individual investors and help build that confidence and optimism around making financial decisions.
Yeah, we don't have to guess or make the wrong decisions. We
Exactly.
can get expert help and make great decisions.
Exactly.
All right, Ben, thank you so very much for being here.
Appreciate it again, Elaine. Thank you.
Of course. To connect with one of the 20,000 plus financial advisors near you, just go to edwardjones.com.